Welcome to Scholastic IQ, the game where I decide how good the show will be based on whether or not there's a Canada question. I'm your host, Ethan Neer. We have a great show in store for you tonight, so let's introduce our teams. On the bottom, we have Flora with Emery, Katie, Madison, and Xavier. And up top, we have Centralia with Carter, John, Braden, and Joey. Now, before we get into the questions, let's do a quick recap of our rules. We'll start out with some toss-up questions. Those are worth 10 points. If a team gets it right, they move on to a bonus question, which is worth 20 and can be stolen for 10. You guys are allowed to interrupt me at any time, but if you interrupt me and get a question wrong, it is 5 points for the other team. So just be right, and it's not a problem. All right, we all ready? Let's get into the questions. What country, whose border with Saudi Arabia was closed from 2017 to 2021, is home to Al Jazeera and hosted the 2022 FIFA World Cup? John.
Qatar.
Qatar is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what president ran for re-election on the slogan, "He kept us out of the war," despite ordering U.S. occupations of Haiti and the Dominican Republic?
Woodrow Wilson.
That is correct. Well done, Centralia.
Hooray.
Your next question, what force, which is independent of contact area according to Amonton's first law, is reduced by lubricants and opposes relative motion? Katie.
Friction.
Friction is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what capital of China's Shaanxi province and one of the country's 4 great ancient capitals is home to the Terracotta Army?
Shanghai.
Shanghai is incorrect. Centralia, chance to steal.
Beijing.
Beijing is also incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Xi'an. Xi'an.
Oh, well.
The next toss-up. What play in which the practice of bun-burying is explained to Jack Worthing by his friend Algernon Moncrief is an 1895 comedy by Oscar Wilde? Sorry, you guys are all out of time. The answer we're looking for was The Importance of Being Earnest. The importance of being earnest. That'll take us to our next question. Which member of the Quraysh tribe received revelations at Mount Hira from the angel Jibril, which were eventually compiled into the Quran? Carter.
Muhammad.
Muhammad is correct. Well done, Centralia. For your bonus, in November 2022, what country signed an agreement negotiated by the African Union to end a civil war against the Tigrayan People's Liberation Front?
Sudan.
Sudan is incorrect. Flora, you do have the chance to steal.
South Sudan.
South Sudan is also incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Ethiopia. Ethiopia.
Ooh, that's silly.
Your next question. What food whose white variety is the second most common source of sugar is used in a soup known as borscht that has characteristic red color? Katie.
Beet.
Beet is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what 2022 film starring Rooney Mara and Claire Foy depicts an extended debate between the female members of a Mennonite colony?
No answer.
Answer, Centralia, a chance to steal.
Amish witches.
Amish witches is incorrect. The answer we're looking for is Women Talking.
Oh.
Pretty basic name, although probably passes the Bechdel test. So you know what? Not bad. For your next toss-up, what university whose literary group, the Inklings, included J.R.R. Tolkien's names and English dictionary called the OED and is a rival of John?
Oxford.
Oxford is correct. Well done.
Rival.
For your bonus, Catriona is the sequel to what novel by Robert Louis Stevenson in which teenager David Balfour reclaims his inheritance after being abducted?
Pass.
Flora, chance to steal.
Ransom of Red Chief.
Ransom of Red Chief is incorrect. The answer you're looking for was kidnapped. Kidnapped.
Of course.
For your next toss-up, what note names the dominant note in the key of C major, also names the major key with 1 sharp, and is the note a whole tone below A? Katie.
G.
G is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what phylum includes the regenerative hydrozoan, genus Hydra, as well as sea anemones and jellyfish?
No answer.
Centralia, chance to steal.
Cnidarian.
Cnidaria is correct. Well done. And that'll take us to our first media question. This woman is a pioneer of early television with a career spanning over 7 decades. Being the first woman to produce a sitcom, her most notable performance is Rose Nyland on the NBC comedy The Golden Girls. Name this actress.
Betty White.
Betty White is correct. Well done, Centralia. And back to the toss-ups we go. What team won the 2023 President's Trophy with a record NHL regular season before being upset in round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs at home in Boston? John.
Bruins.
The Boston Bruins is correct. Well done. I'll take you to your bonus. The missing Flight 828 reappears more than half a decade after takeoff on what supernatural TV drama whose title can refer to a list of passengers?
Manifest.
Manifest is correct. Well done, Centralia. Back to the toss-ups. What country, which is the homeland of Marina people, is governed from Antananarivo and is a large island off the southeast coast of Africa? John.
Madagascar.
Madagascar is correct. Well done. For your bonus, the 1972 photo The Terror of War shows a screaming girl burned by what incendiary chemical widely used by the U.S. in bombing Vietnam's jungles?
Agent Orange.
Agent Orange is incorrect. Flora, chance to steal.
Napalm?
Napalm is correct. And for your next question, pencil and paper ready. How much simple interest will a $200 investment earn in 3 years if the interest rate is 6% per year? Carter.
$36.
$36 is correct. Well done, Centralia. For your bonus, the hippogriff Buckbeak is sentenced to death for attacking what Hogwarts student whose father Lucius is a powerful Death Eater?
Draco Malfoy.
Draco Malfoy is correct. Well done. For your next question, in what country did disputes over migration policy in July 2023 cause the fall of Mark Rutte's government in the Tweede Kamer Parliament in Hague? In The Hague. John.
The Netherlands.
The Netherlands is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what large-scale events led to decreased power production that ended the mission of NASA's Mars probe Opportunity in 2018 and InSight in 2022?
Mars storms.
That is incorrect. Flora, chance to steal.
Solar winds.
That's also incorrect. The answer we're looking for was dust storms. Dust storms. For your next toss-up, what author of the play 1952 play The Mousetrap wrote about a snowbound Katie?
Agatha Christie.
Agatha Christie is correct. Well done. For your bonus, the Visconti and the Sforzas both served as dukes of what city in Lombardy?
Edinburgh.
That's incorrect. Centralia, chance to steal.
Milan.
Milan is correct. Well done. And that will take us to our next bonus question. This late 2000s sitcom follows the tale of Carly Graydon.
iCarly.
Carly is correct. And I heard the reboot just got canceled, I think, after its 3rd season. Yeah.
No.
It's a shame.
No.
Really a shame. For the next toss-up, what quantity, which equals moment of inertia times angular acceleration, is defined as radius cross force and is the rotational analog of John?
Angular momentum.
That is incorrect. I will reread the question for you, Flora. What quantity, which equals moment of inertia times angular acceleration, is defined as radius cross force and is the rotational analog of force? Katie.
Centripetal force.
Centripetal force is incorrect. The answer we're looking for is torque. Torque. I'll take us to our next question. What city at the meeting of the Klang and Gombak rivers is home to the Istana Negara Palace, where Abdullah of Penang reigns as King of Malaysia? John.
Kuala Lumpur.
Kuala Lumpur is correct. Well done, John. For your bonus, John Polidori's short story, The Vampire, was inspired by what poet who died during the Greek War of Independence before finishing his epic, Don Juan?
Oh. Pass.
Flora, chance to steal.
Wordsworth.
That is incorrect. The answer you're looking for was Lord Byron. Lord Byron. Your next question. What city whose cathedral has a dome designed by Filippo Brunelleschi is home to the Uffizi Gallery, as well as Michelangelo's marble David? John.
Rome.
Rome is incorrect.
Florence.
Florence is correct. Well done, Emma. For your bonus, what Middle Eastern nation was invaded by Israel in 1982, prompting a Syrian occupation that lasted until the 2005 assassination of Rafiq Hariri?
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan is incorrect. Centralia, chance to steal.
Palestine.
Palestine is incorrect. The answer you're looking for was Lebanon.
Oh.
Lebanon.
I didn't know that.
Your next toss-up. What novel that depicts McWatt's suicide in a plane crash is set on Pianosa, centers on bombardier John Yossarian, and is by Joseph John?
Slaughterhouse 5.
That is incorrect.
Oh, wow.
I will reread it for you, Flora. What novel that depicts McWatt's suicide in a plane crash is set on Pianosa, centers on bombardier John Yossarian, and is by Joseph Heller? Katie.
Catch-22.
Catch-22 is correct. Well done.
I get confused.
For your bonus, what 15th century painter worked with his brother Hubert on a large polyptych called either the Adoration of the Mystic Lamb or the Ghent altarpiece?
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo is incorrect.
Rembrandt.
Rembrandt is also incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Jan van Eyck. Jan van Eyck. And that will take us to our lightning round. The way our lightning round works is each team will have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as they can about a particular topic. Now, Flora, since you guys are trailing in this one, you have the first pick of the litter. Your choices are Person of the Year, Sports Teams, Starts with Art, or Currencies of the World.
Starts with art.
Starts with art. All right. Give these answers that begin with the consecutive letters A, R, and T. 60 seconds on the clock. I'll count you down. 3, 2, 1. Green vegetables with an edible heart.
Artichoke.
That's correct. Greek goddess of the hunt.
Artemis.
Phylum of invertebrates such as beetles.
Pass.
New Yorker who became president after James Garfield was assassinated.
Pass.
Type of blood vessel that carries blood away from the heart.
Artery. Artery.
That's correct. Term for an object unearthed by an archaeologist.
Artifact.
Nickname of a thief named Jack Dawkins who mentors Oliver Twist.
Pass.
Class of weapons that includes cannons and mortars.
Artillery.
Medical condition in which joints become stiff or swollen.
Arthritis.
8-letter synonym for trick or deception.
Pass.
Phylum of invertebrates such as beetles.
Arthropod.
That is correct. New Yorker who became president after James Garfield was assassinated.
Arthur.
That's correct. Nickname of a thief named Jack Dawkins who mentors Oliver Twist. You guys are all out of time, but going 8 out of 10, not too bad at all. The two that you missed were nickname of a thief named Jack Dawkins who mentors Oliver Twist was the Artful Dodger, and the 8-letter synonym for trick or deception is artifice. Artifice. All right, Centralia, it is now your guys' turn. Your choices are Currencies of the World, Person of the Year, or Sports Teams.
Sports teams.
All right. Given one or more teams, name the sport. 60 seconds on the clock. I'll count you down. 3, 2, 1. New York Yankees.
Baseball.
Cleveland Browns.
Football.
Seattle Sounders.
Soccer.
Carolina Hurricanes.
Hockey.
Team Penske.
Pass.
The All Blacks team from New Zealand.
Rugby.
Minnesota Lynx.
Women's basketball.
Samsung Khan in South Korea.
Baseball.
That's incorrect. Calgary Roughnecks and the Philadelphia Wings.
Pass.
Springfield Lasers and Chicago Smash.
Pass.
Team Penske.
Wrestling.
That's incorrect. Calgary Roughnecks and Philadelphia Wings.
Lacrosse.
That's correct. Springfield Lasers and Chicago Smash.
Pass.
That is the last one you have left.
Okay. Indoor soccer.
That is incorrect. So that is all of the questions you guys got. So let's go through the ones you missed. Team Penske was auto racing, specifically NASCAR.
Oh.
Samsung Khan in South Korea was esports, specifically StarCraft. And Springfield Lasers and Chicago Smash was tennis. So going 7 out of 10, not too bad either. Let's take a look at our scores after the lightning round. We have Flora with 160 and Centralia with 250. So Flora still plenty of time to make up those points in the second half of our game. Let's get back to the toss-ups. What radio waves is found at the peak of a namesake background radiation field left over from the Big Bang is used in namesake ovens to heat food? Xavier.
Micro.
Can you say that again?
Microwaves.
Microwaves is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what 2-digit number worn by Jackie Robinson is the answer to life, the universe, and everything in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
42.
42 is correct. Well done. And that will take us to our next media question. This is a digital banking. Madison.
PayPal.
PayPal is correct. Well done. Back to the toss-ups. What African empire was established after the Battle of Quirina by Sundiata, had later kings called Mansas and hosted the trading post of Timbuktu? Emery.
The Moor Empire?
That is incorrect. John.
Mali.
The Mali Empire is correct. Well done.
Hooray.
For your bonus, the city across the border from El Paso is named after what first indigenous president of Mexico who regained power from Emperor Maximilian in 1867?
Sancho Villa.
Sancho Villa is incorrect. Flora, chance to steal.
Santana.
San Paula is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Benito Juarez. Benito Juarez. Your next toss-up. What book series, which is planned to end with its 7th novel, A Dream of Spring, is largely set in Westeros and is by George John?
A Song of Ice and Fire.
Song of Ice and Fire is correct. Well done, John. For your bonus, platinum can be used in what general class of medicine used to treat cancer, which can cause hair loss, fatigue, and other negative side effects?
Chemotherapy.
Chemotherapy is correct. Well done. Your next toss-up. What conic sections are used to approximate integrals in Simpson's rule always have an eccentricity of 1 and are the graphs of quadratic functions? John.
Parabola.
Parabola is correct. Well done, John. For your bonus, what year of the Chinese zodiac began in January 2023, succeeding the year of the tiger?
Dog.
Dog is incorrect. Flora, chance to steal.
Rabbit.
Rabbit is correct. Well done, Kate. For your next question, which battle, fought shortly after the Battle of Stamford Bridge, was depicted in the Bayeux Tapestry and saw Harold Godwinson lose to William I? John.
Agincourt.
Agincourt is incorrect. Katie.
Battle of Hastings.
Battle of Hastings is correct. Well done, Katie. For your bonus, Edmond Dantes is imprisoned after agreeing to carry a letter from the exiled Napoleon in what novel by Alexandre Dumas?
Count of Monte Cristo.
That is correct. Well done, Katie. Takes to our next question. What English composer of The Dream of Gerontius included a Nimrod movement in his Enigma variations and wrote the Pomp and Circumstance marches? Sorry, you guys are all out of time. The answer we're looking for was Edward Elgar. Edward Elgar. Your next toss-up. What region, which is home to Banks Island and the city of Inuvik, is where the Mackenzie River flows from the Great Slave Lake near Yellowknife? John.
None of it.
Nunavut is incorrect.
Oh, wow.
Emery.
Yukon Territories.
The answer we're looking for was the other territory, the Northwest Territories. The next toss-up. What woman who wrote that presidents are not kings in a 2019 ruling involving Don McGahn succeeded Stephen Breyer as his justice on the Supreme Court? Emery.
Ginsburg.
Ginsburg is incorrect. So you guys are all out of time. The answer we're looking for was Ketanji Brown Jackson. Ketanji Brown Jackson. For the next toss-up, what man who renamed his vessel from the Pelican to the Golden Hind completed history's second ever circumnavigation while sailing for Elizabeth I? Braden.
Drake.
Sir Francis Drake is correct. Well done, Braden.
Good one.
For your bonus, Jeffrey Skillings and Ken Lay served as CEOs of what Houston-based energy company that committed massive accounting fraud and went bankrupt in 2001?
Exxon.
Exxon is incorrect. Flora, chance to steal.
Shell.
Shell is also incorrect. It's not Exxon, but Enron. Enron was the
My
answer we're
second
looking
guess.
for. And that will take us to our last media question. This character was created in Madison.
Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean is correct. Did you? I think you got every single media question.
No.
You were just.
Everyone on our team.
Yeah, you were quick on it. My God. Hold
I
on.
dressed as him last year.
That'll take us back to the toss-ups. And pencil and paper ready. How many cents will be given in change if a $10 bill is used to buy 3 pies that each cost $3.10? Carter.
70 cents.
70 cents is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what lengthy novel by David Foster Wallace is partly set at the fictional Enfield Tennis Academy in Massachusetts?
Pass.
Flora, chance to steal.
No answer.
The answer we're looking for was Infinite Jest. Infinite Jest. That'll take us back to the toss-ups. What body part is found inside a loaf of bread in a story by Nikolai Gogol and is very prominent on the face of swordsman Cyrano de Bergerac? Emery.
A nose.
Nose is correct. Well done, Flora. For your bonus, pencil and paper ready. How many edges does the complete graph K5 contain, given it can be drawn as a pentagram inside a pentagon?
Let me know if you'd like to make a call.
Siri, I don't think they have the answer. I don't think Siri has the answer for that one.
Pentagon.
That is incorrect. Centralia, chance to steal.
Oh no, what's going on?
9.
9 is incorrect. It is a pentagram inside a pentagon, so 5 inside a 5, so 10 is the answer we're looking for. The next question. What president who won 2 terms by defeating Horatio Seymour and Horace Greeley succeeded Andrew Johnson in 1869 after serving as a Union general? Carter.
Ulysses S. Grant.
Ulysses S. Grant is correct. Well done, Carter. For your bonus, what senator who promised in 2016 not to seek a 3rd term narrowly defeated Mandela Barnes to win re-election in Wisconsin in 2022?
Pass.
Pass. Flora, your chance to steal.
Smith.
Smith is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Ron Johnson. Ron Johnson. And that is all the time we have for on today's show. So a very close one to end it out. Well done to both of you guys. Well, that is all the time we have for on today's show. For our lovely contestants here today and the people working hard behind the scenes, I'm Ethan Neer. Thank you so much, and good night.